Welcome to the Memorizing Tarot Cards podcast, your 3-minute lessons to learn and memorize each card using symbolism. I use the Rider Waite Tarot if you wish to view the card while you listen to this episode. Today, we are diving into the meaning behind the Five of Swords. We will start with a simple breakdown of the suit and number. The second part will dig into more symbolism to help you look at this card, remember it, and tell a story. First, let's start with the suit and number. The suit of swords, represented by the sword symbol, is intrinsically linked to the element of air. This suit deepens into mental activity, including communication, thoughts, and decisions. It's about the intangible processes of the mind and our interactions with others through words and ideas. The number 5 is associated with instability, challenge, and change. Combined, the Five of Swords is associated with conflict, defeat, and the moral complexities of victory. Next, let's explore the symbolism further to help you memorize the meaning of this card when you see it. The swords in the hands of the main character signify control and power. Still, the scattered and abandoned swords suggest that this control might be hollow. The somber expressions and defeated posture of the people walking away emphasize the consequences of conflict, highlighting feelings of loss and despair that often accompany such victories. Next, let's cover the astrology associated with this card. The Five of Swords does not directly correspond to a specific zodiac sign, but resonates with the element of air, which governs thought, communication, and conflict. In any case, it was a battle with words that cut like swords. Next, let's talk about the numerology in this card. In numerology, the 5 represents themes of instability, challenge, and change. The Five of Swords reflects these dynamics by depicting a contentious situation, marking a point of significant but possible disruptive change, and the fallout after all has been said. Now that we have covered the basics, symbolism, and even a bit of astrology and numerology, how do we apply this knowledge to a reading? If you looked solely at this card, you would take its meaning and apply it to the meaning of the position in the spread. For example, in the past position, it reminds you of a time when you fell out with someone in the past, but the situation is still taking up space in your present. Examples are losing a good friend over an argument that got nasty, or a romantic relationship ending for the same reason. Sometimes, we need to let things go, and the relationship falls apart. When it appears in the past, it is holding on to regret of standing too firmly in your convictions, even if you are right. Here's another example that can be trickier. What if this card shows up in your opportunities? How can a conflict like this be good? Sometimes, the loss must happen, and the conflict is the catalyst for clearing a toxic situation out of your life. Consciously, there are better ways, but when we don't know a problem, sometimes the universe works in mysterious ways. Now that we have some examples of how to read the Five of Swords, how do we memorize it? What works best for me is memorizing the symbolism. It also helps to connect a scenario in your life to the card. For me, the Five of Swords represent when I lost a friend. We were dear friends for about a decade, and we had a tough year over some things we were growing apart over. I was dating someone she didn't like, and I started a business that took up much of my spare time. Any I had left, I didn't find joy in the things we used to do together. I didn't want the friendship to end, but we both had convictions, even though we strongly supported each other in many ways. The good was getting lost in our differences. I am happy to say the friendship was rekindled years later, but at the time, it came to a head and blew up in a blaze of glory. It took being apart, I believe, to see value in all the things that were working. Even though it was painful at the time, we have a foundation built on kindness, support, and a rich history of having a blast together. But it took splitting up to get there. That is my Five of Swords story. And of course, keep practicing tarot. As you listen to these 3-minute lessons, you will have consistent reminders of symbolism that apply across different cards. Thank you for listening. Join us for more 3-minute lessons to memorize more cards.